Good morning. This is our Chapter 2 review. We're going to be doing simplifying and solving of linear equations. So first, you have to simplify the algebraic expressions on each side. What that means is I'm going to bring together things like the 5x minus 7x, the 9, and the 6. I'm going to get those all together so that it's simplified. So 5 minus 7, I'm going to have a negative 2x. 9 plus 6, I'm going to have a 15 equals x plus 18. Collect all variable terms on one side and all the constants on the other. Well, since I like positive numbers, I'm going to add the 2x to the other side and subtract the constant, since that's what I need to do. I need x's on one side and constants on the other. So plus 15, that's going to go away, and that's going to go away. Positive 15 and a negative 18 gives me negative 3, and that's equal to 2x plus 1x is 3x. Now I have to isolate the variable, so I divide both sides by 3, and I get minus 1 equals x. So that's how I solved this equation. Now you want to finally step is to check this solution. So I'm going to plug it back in. So if x is negative 1, all right, now we've got to check it. So if x is negative 1, that turns 5x into negative 5 plus 9. And a negative 1 would turn the negative 7x into a plus 7 and a plus 6. And does that equal negative 1 plus 18? Well, negative 1 plus 18 is negative 17. Sorry, no negative on that. Apologies. Just 17. Okay. Now, when I do these other side, this is 4. 7 and 6 is 13. 13 and 4 is indeed 17. So yes, it worked. So that means our solution was correct. All right, so here, we're going to solve these. All right, sorry, I'm just adjusting things. I've got to distribute the negative 2 in. So it's 1 minus 12, that's negative 2 times 6. Negative 2 times a negative y is plus 2y, equals 3y plus 2. Well, this is going to be 1 minus 12 is a minus 11. I flipped it around because it's easier to write. That might confuse you. So you know what? We're not going to do that. Apologies. Okay. Minus 11 plus 2y equals 3y plus 2. All right, I'm going to subtract the 2y because it's the smaller, which I've now moved all the y's to the right-hand side. So I've got to move the number on that side to the other. So I subtract 2 from both sides. I get a negative 13 equals y. So y is negative 13. Now we plug this in for our check. One minus 2 times 6 minus a negative 13 equals 3 times negative 13 plus 2. All right, now I got to start simplifying. 6 plus 13 is 19. 3 times negative 3 is negative 39. 2 times 19 is 38. So I have 1 minus 38. Does that equal negative 39 plus 2? Well, this side is negative 37. So is this side. So yes, it does. So it worked. So this is indeed our answer. All right, number 2. I'm going to subtract the x over 5. Well, you know what I'm first going to do? I don't know about you, but I'm not a real fan of these fraction things, so I'm going to multiply all the way through everything by a common denominator. So I have a 10 and a 5 and a 2. All of those are factors of 10. So if I multiply through by 10, when I multiply the first term by 10, I'm going to have 5x because the 2 will cross out. The second term, I end up with 10 over 10, so that's just 1. And then I have x, so the 5 will cross out, so I have 2x. And here, the 2 will cross out, so I have plus 5. Much easier to work with. All right, so now we're going to subtract the 2x. Move the 1. There we go. That goes away, that goes away. 5 minus 2x is 3x. 5 plus 1 is 6. Divide both sides by 3, x equals 2. All right, so now we're going to check that. So, 2 over 2 minus 1 over 10 equals 2 over 5 plus 1/2. Okay, so 2 over 2 is 1. So that's easy. Equal 2. Now we're going to need a common denominator here. So I'm going to there's going to be 10. So this has to be multiplied by 2. So I have 4 and 5 over 10. So I can write the 1 as 10 over 10. 10 minus 1 is 9 over 10. 4 plus 5 is 9 over 10. So yes, check. Our answer is indeed x equals 2. Here I have, again, I'm going to multiply through by 10 in order to get rid of all my fractions. So when I multiply x over 5 times 10, the 5s will cross out, and that's going to leave me with 2x. That is a funny looking 2. All right, when I multiply 1/2 by 10, I get 5. And 5x minus 10, because that's what 10 times 1 is. All right, so I'm going to subtract my 2x. I'm going to add the 10. So I'm going to get all my constants on the left side here. So I have 15 and 3x. If I divide by 3, I'm going to get that x is 5. Okay, so we're going to check that. If x is 5, I have 5 over 5 plus 1/2. Is that equal to 5 halves minus 1 is 2 halves? Oops. Okay. So 1 is 2 over 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. 5 minus 2 is 3. Well, there we go. Yes, it is. So check. We did it right. Okay, here we have... All right, the first thing we're going to do is distribute this and put these together. So I have 2x plus 8 equals 2x plus 8. When is this true? Well, let's look at this. If I subtract 8 from both sides, now I have 2x equals 2x. Now if I divide both sides by 2, I get x equals x. Pretty much every number in the universe is equal to itself. So this is always true. This is an infinite solution. Okay. Here we are, moving on to the next page. Page 2. All right. Now we're just solving for a particular variable, not for a number specifically. This is when you have more than one variable. We'll be using this term. Okay, so if I'm solving for m, well, that's this guy right here. So what I'm going to do first, since both terms have a c, nope, that's too far. I'm not going to do that. Okay. So what I am going to do is subtract c from both sides. So now I have p minus c equals mc. Now I have to divide both sides by c. So I have p minus c over c is equal to m. There we go. Okay, now I'm looking for little d. So I'm going to subtract the 15. P minus 15 is equal to 5d over 11. Now I'm going to strip the 11 off by multiplying both sides by 11. Okay, so now I have 11 times p minus 15 is equal to 5d. So now I have to divide by 5. So I end up with 11 times p minus 15 over 5 is equal to little d. And this is fine. There's other ways to simplify this, but I'm okay with stopping right there. Solve for little a. My goodness. So we're looking for this guy. So we've got to first peel off all the multiplications and divisions. So I'm going to multiply it by 2 and divide by h. That's going to cross this off and the h. So this has to have 2 over h. So now I have 2a over h is equal to a plus b. So now all I have to do is subtract the b from both sides. So I have 2a over h minus b is equal to a. And that's my final answer. All right. Okay. Yay. Percentages. A percent literally means part per 100. 100% means the whole amount, and a percent less than 100 means part of the whole. What does over 100% mean? Well, more than the whole. So if I say I'm giving 110%, how is that possible when 100% is everything I can give? Can't give more than what you can give. So, all right. Formula involving percent. A is equal to PB, where A is the amount as compared to the base, which is B, and P is the percent. So what does that mean? All this is saying is A is P% of B. Okay, what is 8% of 300? Well, A is 8, oh wait, we have to write it as a decimal. 0.08, which is 8% of B. And B in this case is 300. So, when you multiply these with your calculator, 0.08 times 300, you're going to get 24. So A is 24. So 24 is my answer. What is 8% of 300? 24. Okay, what 6 is 60% of what? So the amount is 6. 6 is 60%, 0.6 of what? We're looking for x. So we divide both sides by 0.6, and we get x. What is 6 divided by 0.6? Should be 10. So 6 is 10% of 60. 18 is what percent of 90? So 18 is what percent of 90? Well, we divide both sides by 90. We're going to get x. Well, remember, this is 9 times 10 and 2 times 9. So the 9s will cross out. I have 2 over 10, which is 1 over 5. 18 is 1/5 or 20%. Hey! I apologize. That was my dog barking at my daughter. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay. Now we're ready to move on to the next page. Percent increase and percent decrease. To find the percent increase or decrease, first find the difference in the change. This will be your A value. Okay, if 5 is increased to 9, so my A is going to be 9 minus 5, or 4. So it's an increase of 4. So 4 is what percent of my original number, which was 5? So 5x. Divide by 5, and I get x equals 4/5, which is 0.8 or 80%. Okay. What do you have to remember when solving an inequality? Well, the biggest thing you have to remember is if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you flip the sign. That's crucial. So here, all I'm doing is adding, so that's not going to cause a problem. So x is greater than or equal to 7. So we come over here, we find 7 greater than or equal to, since it's an equal to... That's right, I forgot. They have you do it slightly differently. Okay. So it has to be greater than or equal to, gives you the square bracket. And that's it. All right, here we have, I'm going to add the 8. And I'm going to have to subtract the 2x. So I'm adding and subtracting only, so right now I don't have to worry about it. That goes away. I end up with x less than, that goes away, 8 plus 11 is 19. So x is less than 19. Now, I do it not the square brackets when it doesn't equal. When there's a no equal portion to the inequality, we use a parenthesis. And it's below, right? Because it was x is less than 19. Okay, so we have all of this. Okay. All right, so now I'm just going to add the 1/3. Well, I need it as sixths, so I can convert this to 2/6. So I can convert it to 2/6, which is going to give me 7/6. So I have x is greater than or equal to 7/6. So let's see. Looks like we get to define our numbers. So if I define each of these as a sixth, 3, 4, 5, 6, so this would be 1. 7/6 would be the very next one. Now it's greater than or equal to, so it's a square bracket, and greater than, it opens to the up, to the right. So that's our direction. Okay, moving on to the next page. Oh, we're done. All right, we're done.